We have the highly anticipated Wicked for Good, the follow-up to the smash hit Wicked Part 1. How does it live up to the first part? Is there a good closing to the chapter? Let's dive in. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Movie Dive. Today we're diving into Wicked for Good. Before we do, please don't forget to subscribe to the Movie Dive. Don't forget to ring the bell button to get notifications on the channel. All right, so I think I said this last year for the context of Wicked Part 1, and that is that I've never seen the Broadway. I had no idea really what the Broadway was about. I know I had to do something with the witch from Wizard of Oz, but I didn't really know the whole timeline of the whole story, didn't really know any of the songs either. I honestly expected Wicked, the first part, to be a movie I was not going to like. I did not think this story was going to be for me. I thought it looked a bit CGI heavy and looked like it was going to be kind of a half-assed version of the Broadway, and I was actually pleasantly surprised. I thought the songs were done really well, and I thought Grande and Erivo were two perfectly cast characters for the roles they were playing. Now, I didn't think it was the best movie of the year, but it got me really excited to see Wicked for Good. I didn't even know there's going to be a part 2 until the first part started playing and it said part 1 on screen. Now, going into Wicked for Good, I will say the movie, I probably liked it just as much as the first part, but for a lot of different reasons than part 1. Part 1, I think, had stronger songs. They had Defying Gravity in part 1. That's the best song, I think, out of the whole Broadway. I've kind of listened to the music throughout the year. That was a perfect way to close out part 1, but I was interested in going into part 2, thinking to myself, they might have a really good story on their hands because part 2 might go in the more darker realm, especially intertwining Wizard of Oz, the original movie. And my feelings were basically true. I will say that I was very enticed with the world. I think the production value was amazing. I think the CGI was better in For Good, and there's more emotional dark moments in this second part as well. Part 1 is a lot more bubbly, gives you a lot more sense of magic, gives you a lot more sense of this beautiful world. Part 2 gives you more of a sense of an emotional storyline. Erivo and Grande are still terrific in the film. I think they're both going to get Oscar nominations, and I think they're going to both deserve them. The parts where they are singing on screen are still very powerful. There's especially one solo song where Cynthia Erivo is by herself in the castle, and I think that was the best singing moment of the whole movie. But there's also a song where Jeff Goldblum has to sing as well, and you can definitely tell the difference in their singing abilities. That scene was a little off for me. There are really good moments that do hit emotionally in Wicked for Good. Sometimes you will worry that it might be a little cheesy or overdone, but it's not. I think the build up from the first part going into the second film is done really well. Also, I'd say the best thing about this world is when you're watching the movie, it's one of those films you really do forget about the real world. You really feel like you're in the world of Oz while watching it. Now, the main issues I have with Wicked Part 2 or Wicked for Good is not as much with the movie itself, but with the story on Broadway. For example, the whole storyline of them making Elphaba sound like she's a witch and telling everyone all this propaganda that she's this awful person, and she's really not this awful person. Well, maybe she shouldn't be flying around on a broomstick wearing a black cloak and also a witch's hat. Also, she's spending all this time tracking down a young farm girl who has slippers on with an evil laugh. So there are some story beats that have to do with the Broadway where they really try to attach the Wicked Witch being good. I just don't fully buy it. I'm probably not supposed to think of the original Wizard of Oz when it comes to this iteration of it, but I just do. And they try to intertwine them both together, and sometimes it just doesn't work. There's not as much of a side cast in this movie. Of course, we have all the returning actors as we do in the first film. Of course, we got Jeff Goldblum, Michelle Yeoh returning in this film. Michelle Yeoh, honestly, there's something about her that annoys me. Maybe that's what she's supposed to do, but every time she's on screen, I kind of just want to see her die. On screen, of course. Jonathan Bailey is great as the prince in the film. If you know the storyline, you know what happens with his character. Now, another issue I had with Wicked for Good is it kind of gives you that Lord of the Rings 15 different endings. I kept thinking the credits were going to roll and then there'd be another scene saying goodbye. Wicked for Good, though, still, I think I liked it just as much as the first movie, but for a lot of different reasons. The scenery is beautiful. I like how it had a darker tone to it. They didn't think like everything on the screen was just way brightened up in the color contrast, but I do think all the songs were quite a bit better in the first part. So I'm going to go ahead and give Wicked for Good a 70 out of 100. You guys let me know what you thought about it. Comment down below. I think it is a fun rewatchable movie. I think if you love the Broadway, you're going to really love Wicked for Good. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to the Movie Dive. We will see you next time.